Story now, trade union Nehawu says its planned strike will go ahead despite a court interdict prohibiting it. Workers are demanding a salary increase of between 10 and 12%, but the Department of Public Service and Administration is only offering 4.7%. Let's cross now to our reporter Manqoba Mchunu, who's following the story for us, who joins us with the very latest. Good morning, Manqoba. I see workers already there behind you. They have assembled. What is the very latest?
Well, indeed, the workers here this morning picketing outside Chris Baragwanath Hospital, which is one of the biggest hospitals here in the continent. And of course, this is they're heeding the call by the union Nehawu to go to protest. I'm just going to ask my colleague Mohammed Kadiwani just to show you here what's happening outside. We understand that quite a number of Nehawu affiliated workers here are out in protest over the wage negotiations that have been taking place. They are, of course, rejecting the offer that was made by government of a pensionable 4.7% increase. They are demanding a 10 to 12% increase. We understand further that this is part of the wage negotiations that had been going on from 2018. We recall that there was a dispute by the unions as far as that is concerned. Government, the offer that they put on the table at that time, and of course the union saying that government had also reneged on its promise it had made when it comes to the wage increase in 2020. They didn't get that wage increase, and of course we know that there were also talks that were held at the bargaining council last month, which also deadlocked and ultimately led to the protest that is taking place here today. And of course the union saying that despite the Department of Public Service and Administration being able to get an interdict to stop this protest, they are saying that their protest will continue indefinitely. But I want to bring in one of the leaders here at this protest, Bonani Masindi. Bonani, thank you for your time. Just take us through why you are here on the streets today. What is it that workers want?
No, thanks for allowing us an opportunity maybe to speak about what is actually happening here today. We are here because we are on strike. And being on strike, we are also on the picket lines in all workplaces where we have branches of Nehawu. The reason why we are doing this is that you will remember that in the last year we had the wage negotiations which deadlocked at the point where the employer was offering 3%, which later on the employer unilaterally implemented that 3% after, as the unions, we have rejected that offer. And then we felt as the unions that we were being insulted, or we felt being insulted by that unilateral implementation of 3% increase. We stick to our 10% increase as the demand where we are standing. We are on strike because we are demanding this 3%, this 10% increase. That is why we are out here, because we have deadlocked with the employer on that, on those negotiations.
So, in terms of the negotiations, we understand that there were processes that were at the bargaining council last month. What are you saying about those processes? Shouldn't you allow those processes to be concluded before perhaps taking to the streets, or do you think that government is negotiating in bad faith?
Indeed, we feel that government is negotiating in bad faith, on the basis that whatever they are starting as the new round of negotiation for 2023-2024 is very much unfair to us, because there's no way we can enter into new negotiations when we are still in dispute on the 2020, on the previous wage negotiations. Our position is that we must first resolve this dispute we are in before we start negotiating for 2023-2024.
And in terms of Bonani government interdicting the strike, they are saying that while they understand your right to protest, services cannot be disrupted.
We have reached a point as workers where we are employed under DPSA. We are seeing employer that on daily basis is mobilizing us as workers into action. And when the employer is acting like that, indeed, we will embark on action of this nature. If employer does not want disruption at workplaces, we are workers. We are willing to produce. We are willing to serve our communities. But if employer indeed want us to service these communities and make sure that there's production, the employer will negotiate with us in good faith. The employer will stop reneging from the agreement that we have with the employer. For instance, Resolution 1 of 2018, we are still very angry about the employer reneging from that resolution. The employer is doing all this, having not given us an increase in the 2020-2021 financial year, because they were reneging from Resolution 1 of 2018. On top of that, 2020-2021, they introduced a gratuity, something that does not add anything on the pension of the workers, meaning that as and when inflation is going up, the pension fund of the workers continue to depreciate. So by so doing, DPSA is the one that is making sure that there's no service, is the one that is making sure that there's no production, because they can't treat workers in this way and expect us as workers to fold our hands.
Are you saying that you don't care about that court process that is on? You're saying that as workers you want to continue with the protest up until those issues are resolved?
We respect court processes, but when court processes are out there, we also have our own recourse as the workers. For instance, with the outcome of the labor court that set on Saturday, we are appealing that outcome, which allows us to be doing what we are doing at the moment. So, by the fact that we are appealing this outcome, it means that we respect and we regard the courts highly. We are not the kind of people who will not disregard the courts and everything. So we are following the same the processes in courts. When in the meantime, because we are appealing, we are on the street, continue to demand our 10%.
So just talk about the impact, of course. How many places have been affected, which departments have been affected, and how many workers are expecting here on the ground?
Currently here in Johannesburg, we are here at Barra, which you can say that the service is not normal. We are from Helen Joseph. The main entrance is closed, shut completely. We are from George Tabor, SWGC. The entrance is shut. We are from GDE, D14. The gates are closed. There's no functionality there. So we are here at Barra. We are seeing what is happening here, but we are also worried about what we see. We are seeing an element of intimidation, but we know that we will be able to attend to this with the law enforcement agencies, particularly here in Barra, as you can see on the background. And you can see the police that are here time and again, they would want to come and want to push workers back. That on its own cause provokes workers, but we will indeed be engaging with them time and again to avoid commotion. But we are resolute. We are not going to be intimidated by anything. This strike is continuing, and we demand our 10%. Until we get it, we will continue with the strike.
Thank you very much. It was Bonani Masiundi, who is the regional secretary here, just giving us a sense of their frustrations and the reasons why they're here on the streets as workers, of course, insisting that they are going to continue with their protest indefinitely up until government agrees to their wage demand request, which is 10%. And of course, they're saying that there will be disruptions at some of the public health facilities, as well as some of the offices, public offices, including Home Affairs, we understand. And of course, the workers saying that they are still awaiting to hear whether government will agree or not to their demand.